right, today I want to talk about the Arkansas fans wanting Mike Norvell or Mike Leach and why I'm down for both. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I'm not on step. No, considering the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, I want to talk about who Arkansas fans want to be the next head coach for the Razorbacks. And I chopped it up at length with my buddy Jerry Ostrowski about Mike Norvell and a couple of other candidates that we were just kind of spitballing about that would be good for this job and fit in Fayetteville. And I want to give you my take on Mike Leach here in just a second, but I also want to please tell you, subscribe to my newsletter. It's free. Seriously, if you just give me the email, you can get entered for a chance to win this bad boy right here. It's a Hertz lamp. Maybe you have one, maybe you don't. Maybe you're an OU fan, maybe you're not. Either way, I'm probably going to, no, not probably. I am going to send it to you before Christmas so you can re-gift it if that's what you want to do. And if you've already subscribed to it, you'll see that I'm writing some, well, I think they're really cool posts. And I think I'm good at it. And there's some free stuff in there if you're a football fan. So Mike Leach would fit in at Arkansas if you give him some time. If you give him a moment to do some Mike Leach style stuff, if you allow him to assemble the kind of staff that he would need to succeed, yeah, because we saw what Bob Petrino was able to do with Ryan Mallett. We're also able to, but that was years ago, and I understand it's been some time there. And you might also be able to keep Chandler Morris in the boat if you do that, Chad Morris's kid, because Chad Morris has an offer from Oklahoma, and I need to talk about that at some length because I know OU fans are interested in folks like Chandler Morris and Blaine Toll since, Morris was fired to see what happens because John Chavis probably ain't going to be there next year. Now, Leach is his own guy, and most people know this. He is one of my favorite college football coaches of all time. I've spoken with him at length. That interview is on the channel if you're into it. And I can see why you would want him because he brings the air raid. He's going to score a lot of points and feels like the kind of guy that can up in the SEC West if anybody could. A lot of us wanted to see him get the Tennessee job that Jeremy Pruitt got because it feels kind of wasted at Washington State. There's no disrespect to Washington State. Washington State's become a class program, but it's become one because Mike Leach was allowed to be like Mike Leach. And that's a thing that he was able to do at Washington State because they don't really have the tradition that a lot of other places have. And Arkansas has feelings about itself. I get it. I understand where you're coming from. I also think that if you hire Mike Leach, you're getting the full Mike Leach dose. And there's some things that are going to spook you about how he goes about calling football games and how he goes about coaching. But if you give him 4 years, he's going to get you 10 wins by the end of those 4 years. He's going to get guys in place that trust him and understand him. He's going to run his meetings a little loose. And you're going to have to wait on him to get it done, but he ain't going to sit there and lose. It ain't going to be the Chad Morris experience. And I think you're right to want him, but I don't know that he would want to go anywhere. Every time we bring Mike Leach's name up in all of this, it's almost as if he's waiting on somebody else to give him a phone call that, is a made man because he's not really going to entertain it, especially in November. I think Arkansas is going to try to find somebody before the end of the month to fill that spot, but I would not be surprised to find out they got to wait until the season ends because a lot of folks are really still trying to win football games and very much not just trying to win their conferences or get into position to win their conferences, but we're talking about the time in which folks are becoming bowl eligible and it's becoming a big part of who they are and what it's going to mean for them at their institutions right now. And I know a lot of folks want a sitting head coach, and I get that, and Mike Leach has some seasoning. And I also think that you have more opportunities to recruit the kind of guys that Arkansas can get. Because I thought, like my buddy Jerry brings up later, in hiring Chad Morris, you thought you were going to be able to recruit Texas well. Nah, but you know who can recruit Texas well? Mike Leach, because he's a legend at Texas Tech, and the guy at Oklahoma, he helped groom, right? That's what you want to hire. You want to get some of that magic going, and you might even get him to bring in a capable defensive coordinator to try to combat these SEC West teams and these SEC teams. I know that Arkansas fans are down in the dumps, but you'll get back. You will. Just give it a moment. All right, now let's talk to Jerry. We're having too much damn fun. It's last segment. So you said Sonny Dykes, and I swear to God, if they go back to the Southern method as well, right away, somebody's going to get strangled.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
See?
Ooh.
See?
Ooh.
You better not.
Ooh.
You bet not.
Ooh.
The Arkansas folks will come into your Jack's office with pitchforks.
I feel dirty now for saying that. Oh, yuck.
You know who's probably like just throwing rocks at their window?
Who?
Luttrell. Seth Luttrell's throwing rocks at their window, and he's standing up there like John Cusack with the stereo above his head. So
what a great Sanding reference,
man.
Oh wow.
Brian Harsin at Boise State's like, hey, I'm here. I was at Arkansas State. Remember that? I was over there in Jonesboro. I'm ready to come home. Just come get me.
And we all know that they would never, ever, ever stoop to the low of hiring a person from Arkansas State to actually, take the reins at the mighty Arkansas and get them out of the hole that they're in.
Then they can't hire Gus Malzahn.
True. I don't know, man. I think Norvell makes too much sense. I also, like you said, is Seth Luttrell that guy?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want somebody that. Here's my problem. I just don't want somebody that I really, really like to get in a bad situation.
No, that 100%,
so broke.
100%. Because
you know what I mean.
I haven't said these names out loud, but who gives a damn?
Because I really like Norvell and I really like Seth. We've been down to North Texas and seen what they got going on. They've got really, really good stuff going on, and it's like if they're just patient, you would think something's going to be there. If they're just patient. I
want Glenn Schumann to get a look.
Well, my deal is this, RJ.
Glenn Schumann to get a look.
Say that again. Who is that?
Glenn Schumann. Glenn Schumann is the linebackers coach at Georgia, who I thought was a shoo-in to be the coordinator at Georgia after Tucker took the job at Colorado and ended up being his buddy and partner Dan Lanning, who got that job. But Schumann came up to the Thorpe Award dinner on behalf of DeAndre Baker to basically tell us all about how good he is. And then you go looking up Glenn Schumann and you find out raised in McKinney. Parents are teacher and principals in McKinney. Straight out of high school, goes to Alabama, comes up under Nick Saban right there as a student coach. So he's literally been coaching. I mean, he's about my age, but he's been coaching for a dozen years now. And he's followed Kirby out to Georgia and has been in Kirby's pocket the whole time. And when you hear him speak, you hear a head coach, and I don't even know that he would take that job or even give it a look. But I think I'm reaching the age now where I know so many of these guys and I've come up with them that they're in their 30s, they're in their mid 30s, early 30s, they're, we're that ilk, us millennials, that I find so many of these dudes that I personally have had interactions with and I know, and I'm like, nah, that guy is going to be one hell of a head coach. And maybe everybody felt that way when they were my age, but I can think of 4 or 5 dudes right now that Arkansas would be lucky to get and could get them for cheap if they would just commit to them for 3 years. Give them 3 years to go get classes, they'll be good. That's me.
Let me ask you this question. Is Josh Heupel where he's always going to be?
Ooh, no, he's not. Man, and that's the thing, though. Josh Heupel is a play-calling head coach.
Is he a Power 5 guy?
He thinks
Here's another question. You just brought it up. Let's walk this one out. And this is, man, we don't got enough time today. Are you going? Do you want a play calling head coach at Arkansas in the situation they're in?
If you can go either way, right? But I don't because the last guy they had that it worked with was Petrino.
Right.
And I get that they're ready to hire a Frank Broyles set of underwear or a Lou Holtz 1981 worn hat or a Bobby Petrino neck brace to coach this team, but I don't want that, man. I want somebody who has chops, but I also want a fresh young assistant. So I can go either way on this, but if the right guy is out there, then the right guy is out there. And here's underrated as hell, and you can come after me if you want. Shane Beamer has never taken an offensive coordinator job. Ever. He's been a recruiting coordinator, cornerbacks coach, DC, special teams coordinator, all these things, and you hear him speak, you hear a guy that's going to be a head coach. Kind of like with Grinch, but he's not under the same sort of scrutiny that Grinch is right now. You know, if Grinch shuts out Kansas State and then shuts out Iowa State, he's probably getting the look right now. But Beamer has already been mentioned for like the Old Dominion job because it's close to where he grew up and it's close back to home and so forth, so on. But there's just a bunch of guys out there. I don't think you want to play, and he's not a play calling head coach, is what I'm saying. He's not a guy that's going to be out there with the play card. He's going to hire somebody else to do that.
Let me help you with that decision. There's a guy right now that he trusts highly that's available at the end of the season. They could travel to Arkansas and reinstate the lunch pail defense.
Lunch pail defense. Yeah, you got to tell me.
Bud Foster.
Bud's retired.
Well, he retired for the present time.
Oh my God.
I don't believe Bud's done coaching football. I really don't.
I don't know, man.
Bud's 60.
Yeah.
Would an occasion we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but this dude probably at some point changed Shane Beamer's diaper.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's a relationship there that is amazing. Do you go ahead and say, I'll give you 2 or 3 years just to help you get started? And all of a sudden, does that group of coaches you're going to bring over
I think Jerry's
look a lot different?
I think Jerry's writing stuff down in his notebook. That's what I think. No, man, I can't see that one. Just because there's too many other guys you could go get. Honestly, I would want somebody that doesn't have any ties to me. I don't want a Ruffin McNeil in my back pocket. You know,
he's not Ruffin McNeil.
He's okay.
He's not even close to Ruffin McNeil.
I'm not saying that they're okay. Let's. I want to be careful about how I couch this. But Ruffin's a confidant and a great one, and a rudder. Right?
Yes.
And I don't know what Bud is to Shane, but you also don't want to put yourself in the position right away of doing that unless that's what you want to do. I don't know. Let's let Shane get a phone call. We gotta get out of here.
My main thing, though, just real quick on that is we're just walking all these out. We're talking about them, but the thing is that I don't think the worst thing that and this is why maybe Norvell didn't work the first time, but he works now. He's had success. He's run a program, and he's proven himself. And you cannot bring in a flash in the pan guy right now with Arkansas. You have got. I'm going to say it again. That's why I thought the Chad Morris situation was so crazy. You have got to bring in a person you are willing to let get dirty and get their hands dirty and get after it and give them the 3 years, maybe even 4, because as a person like you that follows recruiting, you know just how much work they have to do to upgrade that roster.
But the goal right now for them would be as good as Mississippi State was this year. That would be the goal. And it doesn't feel like it's that far away, but that would be the goal. And then try to get to where Ole Miss was a couple of years ago, right? And here's the crazy one that we don't have time to walk out, that people are already walking out, is Hugh Freeze.
Oh, good.
I know. I said, and I'm saying,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, between him and like I almost wrote this joke to you about Mangino, Briles, Sandusky, and Freeze walking into a bar, and I might still write that joke for you, because I was like, which dudes would I just throw a chair at? You know, if they walk that guy out in front of a microphone, which guy would I be like, no, do it over, cancel the damn press conference. This would be a Greg Schianoing, showing up going, nope, not that guy, under any circumstances whatsoever, not that guy. But they're just desperate enough to do it. And that's what's scary. Jerry, I got to let you go, man. Thank you.
That 20 minutes turned into 107, but that's all right.
Now put up the whole doggone thing, and I'll put it up in segments too so people can consume it in smaller portions. So that'll be there. Jerry Ostrowski, director of premium seating at the University of Tulsa. So if you're looking to get club seats for next year, give Jerry a call. Also, one of my better friends. And strong as an ox, tough as a horse. Jerry, love you, man. Thanks for doing this.
Love you too, RJ. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother.